welcome to another episode of Sports Talk. We're joined by McKinney North softball coach Dan Sedgwick and McKinney North baseball coach James Gatewood. Coaches, welcome to have you here again.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to be here.
No problem. Now, Coach, tell us a little bit about last year's ending. You finished second in the district, and you ended up losing to Texas High in the playoffs. But as usual, you made the playoffs like most every year. How did that focus you for this year?
Well, we saw some obvious things that we needed to work on. In particular, maybe working on some different philosophies as far as pitching is concerned, and working batters a little bit differently than we did before. We needed to focus on our outfield a little bit more, find some good replacements for those girls that are going to be we were going to be losing, and I think we've done a good job of both.
Now, did you lose a lot of players off last year's team?
We only lost a couple. We got 7 kids coming back that started regularly, and we got a couple of freshmen that came in that are looking real good. One of them in particular is, I think, probably help us out this year. So she's looking real good real early.
All right, now who are some of these players that you've got that you're going to be counting on?
Well, we've got a sophomore pitcher. We just had a scrimmage. She pitched, she pitched in 2 scrimmages and a total of about 8 shutout innings in those 2 scrimmages against Richardson, Pierce, and Allen. And then, of course, we got our senior pitcher coming back, Celeste Vertolivo. She's been with us. It's her 4th year on varsity and has pitched a vast majority of all the games in those 4 years. But our little sophomore pitcher looked real good. We got Smiley Coxwell and Jordan McCraw. Were excellent players on both sides, defensively and offensively. So we're looking for them to put out a lot for us too, and pretty high production at the plate as well.
Now, Coach Gatewood, you also made the playoffs last year from District 13 to 4A. You beat Pine Tree in the bi-district round and then lost, I think, to Mansfield Legacy.
Yeah, lost to a good Legacy team. We played well, just didn't, finish. We went to lost an extra inning game the first night, and then I went over there on Saturday and lost the first game. And so, but we had a good year and we learned a lot from it. We have a lot of guys back, and I expect to have a great year this year.
So who were some of the people that you're counting on this year?
Well, our pitching staff is all back. We have Gabe Constantine back, who's signed with Wichita State. We have Luke Bay, who's signed with Paris, who's back. We also have Tate Frocham, who pitched a lot for us last year. And so we feel good on the mound. We have a lot of returning guys with Michael Saul behind the plate. Travis Scalf has started for us for 2 years at third base, and Ty Saka in the outfield. And we have a lot of good guys back, and start this afternoon scrimmage, so it'll be nice to finally get to see, what it's going to look like.
Now, did you focus on anything in particular in the fall, like weights or just fundamentals? What did you really?
We really did. For the first time, we had a lot of guys last year who we didn't feel were strong enough, and because a lot of guys coming back are juniors, and so as sophomores, we felt like they really need to catch up, and so we pushed it in the weight room, probably harder than we ever have. And early, it looks pretty good. We look a lot stronger and a little more physical, and so we're excited about that.
Now, I remember when I was younger, weights were discouraged for baseball, but has that really changed a lot?
Yeah, it changed a long time ago to where, not a long time ago, just, to where it's more now you have to do it to stay up with everybody else because everybody else is doing it. There's more, you got to stay flexible and you got to stretch a lot. You just don't go lift and bulk up. But the way the game is now, you have to do it, and you have to do it a lot or you're going to get passed by.
What about for softball? Is there more weight involvement now than there used to be?
Yeah, we do a lot of core work, with bands and exercise bands and stuff, a lot of crunches, and there's actually several core workouts out there, and we've really focused on the core this year. And the girls have already said, they can really feel a difference. We've gone at it a lot harder this year than I have in the past, in the off season as far as weights and stuff are concerned, and they were feeling it there for a while, and I was feeling it because I was trying to do some of it with them, and I said, okay, I did that too much when I was younger, so I've had my share. But anyway, they've all said how much stronger they feel and how much better they feel. And the scrimmages that we just had, I think, proved all that out because they were the best scrimmages I think we've ever had.
Well, tell us a little bit more about these scrimmages. Who'd you scrimmage, where,
Well, we
when?
scrimmaged Richardson, Pierce, and Allen, and we had some real the hitting side of the ball, which I thought would be a little bit slow coming along. It always is, was pretty darn good. I mean, we scored, 8 against Pierce, and and my pitcher threw the shutout against them, and then we scored 7 against Allen. So I thought that side of the ball did very well. You know, we had a few errors here and there on defense, but that's to be expected that early. But again, we've never come out that strong and worked that hard in scrimmages since I've been here. So I'm very happy with this group of kids, hard-working kids.
Yeah, Coach Gatewood, what about you? You said you got a scrimmage today. Who are we scrimmaging?
Yeah, we go to
again?
Creekview today, and we play, 13, 14 innings, and finally get off the practice field. And we'll throw a lot of guys. We'll probably throw 12 or 13 guys, and just get a chance to see everybody. Then we come over here Friday and play Boyd, and so, like I said, you get tired of practice after a while, and it's time to see what we look like against somebody else. And
Now, is there anything in particular you're going to be working on in this week's scrimmages?
no, just
playing.
seeing how he carries over from the practice field, and seeing how we, handle live pitching, and we've seen enough BP and seen our guys enough. It's kind of time to see some other guys.
All right. Now, Coach Sedgwick, the games start counting, I think, when you go to the Allen tournament.
That's right.
And that's February 26th, 27th, 28th. Why this tournament? What is it you're looking for from that tournament in particular?
They always have really good teams in that tournament. We always see some real good competition, and in particular, we see good pitching, and that's why we want to go to that tournament every year. And then we turn around and play our tournament the following weekend, and we've got some good teams in there and with some good pitching. So that's mainly what we're looking for is the good pitching, good competition. People that are going to pressure us, put the pressure on us to make sure that we have to perform well, and that's what I'm looking for.
Now, in softball, does good pitching beat good hitting?
It depends on how good the pitching is and how good the hitting is, I guess. I mean, it seems like I've always had at least one kid in the lineup, and I do have at least one, but I'd say maybe 3 in the lineup now that actually hit good pitching better. They're better against good pitching, and the slower pitching, the junk pitching, that kind of thing tends to give us a little bit of trouble, but over the years they've learned how to do that also. But good pitching, we perform better at the plate, always.
So it seems to me your goal is a long-term goal. You want to be able to hit the playoffs and be able to compete in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
You're not just talking district. You're talking. No. By the time we get to the playoffs, you're going to see good pitching there.
Right.
You got
us go out in the first round. I'd feel like that's not good enough, and they do too. The girls feel that way now also. So.
Now you're going to be going back to Creekview.
Right.
Is that right for their tournament?
Yeah,
their invitational?
we've done the same thing ever since I've been here. We've had a lot of success over there. It's a great place for us to get started every year, and we feel comfortable over there. And we spend a lot of time on the road when the season starts, just to kind of figure out what we're made of and what we're going to be about. And we've had a lot of success doing that, and so we just keep doing that.
Do you know who some of the teams are that you'll be playing in that
No,
tournament?
I really, it's some of the same teams that we see each year. But to be honest, we really put a lot of focus on just playing the game and playing the game right and competing against, the game. And so, that may sound funny, but that's just kind of the way we are. We roll up and we see who we're playing, and let's go and try to play the game right. And we strive to always play a perfect game and just let everything else kind of fall into place.
See, that strikes me also as a long-term strategy. I mean, when you get to the playoffs, you don't get to choose your opponents. Yeah. You got to play whoever you puts in front of you.
That's different. There's a lot of people who they get caught up in a lot of stuff, and there's some people who know everybody on our team and everybody that's going. We haven't been like that. We really try to focus on what we do and try to do it at a high level and be very good at it.
Now, you start district play against Wiley East, is that right?
Yeah.
And it'll be March 17th. Mm-hmm. Seems like a long way off, but
it is, but it isn't. It'll be here before you know it. We'll get these 2 tournaments under our belt, and then we have a couple of non-district games, and then we'll look up and Wiley East will be here. So, we still got to answer a couple questions and see who's going to be our, 3rd or 4th pitcher and a couple of spots in the infield. We need to make sure we're good there, but by then we'll know.
Now, your district is pretty much the same as last year, maybe a couple of changes. You got McKinney in there now.
Yeah.
How does it shake out? I mean,
well,
when you look
it's
at the
going to be
district.
good. Prosper comes in and McKinney comes in, and we're familiar with those other guys, but it'll be good. It always is good, and from top to bottom. You got to be the best every night, or you're going to be in trouble.
And we know McKinney North will be competitive because they always are. No,
Yeah.
you always are, Coach. And the girls start district also against Wiley East at home, and that is March the 10th when you start. First pitch, 7 p.m., spring break.
That's right.
Wonderful.
Yep.
How does the district look to you?
Well, it'll be a tough district again. Again, just like baseball, I'm not real familiar with Prosper at this point. I'm sure they're going to put a good team out there, though. Most of their teams are pretty good over there, and they stay competitive. And we got to just go be ready to play every game because, even the quote weaker teams that some people would consider weaker teams, if we're not playing at the higher level, it can bite you pretty quick. So, McKinney High will be real good, I think. They'll be tough competition. Wiley always is real tough. And then the other ones down the line, we gotta watch ourselves. We gotta go play our best game every time, or they'll sneak up and get us. So.
And then for both boys and girls, after the regular season, if you make the playoffs, you get the Frisco district, right?
Yeah.
So thanks for that. All right, well, that's McKinney North softball with Coach Dan Sedgwick and McKinney North baseball with Coach James Gatewood.